My dear, I want to ask you something, and I want you to be honest with me. How many nights this week did you wake up to use the bathroom? Once, twice, 3 times, or more? If you're watching this, I suspect you already know the answer. And I suspect you've also been told something like this. It's your age. It's your bladder. Take this medication and learn to live with it. I've sat with women just like you, women who were given that answer and sent home to keep suffering. And I'm here to tell you, as someone who has spent decades in clinical practice, that in most cases, that explanation has been complete. Your bladder is not failing you. It isn't trying to tell you something. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what it's trying to say. What I'm about to share with you has nothing to do with urology. It has everything to do with your circulation and a process happening inside your legs while you sit in this chair right now. Once you understand it, everything that has confused you, the bathroom trips, the broken sleep, the exhaustion the next chair on will make complete sense. Stay with me, because what comes next could change how you sleep tonight. Let me tell you what your fun nights look like. Not because I'm guessing, because I've heard this described so many times I could tell it myself. It is somewhere between 2 and 3 in the morning. The house is completely quiet. You are finally truly asleep, not drifting, actually under. And then pressure, faint at first. You try to ignore it, you shift position, you pull the blanket up, but the pressure builds, so you get up. In the dark, because you've made this trip enough times that you know exactly how many steps it takes. You go back to bed, and real sleep is gone. Your mind starts moving, the appointment tomorrow, a worry you haven't quite finished thinking about. You lie there. Then it starts again. You get up in the morning hollow. You pour coffee before you've said a single word to anyone. And somewhere in the back of your mind is a thought you've been pushing away. Is this just what getting older feels like? Is this just my life now? Sweetheart, listen to me carefully. What you are experiencing is not simply aging. It is a mechanical process with a mechanical explanation. And the moment you understand it, you will know exactly what to do. Let me first honor what you've already tried. If you were going to a doctor about this, you were probably told menopause, possibly a weakened pelvic floor, try some exercises. Maybe you were given a vacation. Maybe you restricted your fluids after 6 o'clock. Maybe you bought a supplement your daughter found online. None of that was foolish. That was a good faith effort based on the information you were given. The problem was not your effort. The problem was the starting question. Because the right question is not, what is wrong with your bladder? The right question is, where is all this fluid coming from and why is it arriving at night? Answer that and everything changes. And here is what I need you to hold on to as I explain. This, because what you are about to hear is the opposite of what most doctors will tell you. Here is what happens inside your body every single day. For most of your waking hours, you are upright. Gravity does what gravity does. It pulls everything downward. Blood, fluid from your tissues, the water between your cells, all of it toward your feet and ankles. When we are young, our leg veins have small internal valves, one-way gates, that prevent fluid from pooling too far down. The muscles in the calves, when we walk, push our blood back upward toward the heart. But with age, this system changes. Vein walls lose some of their elasticity. The valves become less efficient. Fluid seeps from the blood vessels into the soft tissue of the legs. Over the course of a day, significant amounts of fluid can proteinulate there, often silently, without obvious swelling you'd notice. You've seen the evidence. When you take off your socks in the evening, sometimes there's a faint groove left behind. That groove is a reservoir. And then you lie down. In that single act, the act of becoming horizontal, you undo hours of accumulation. The fluid that spent all day cooling downward now has nowhere to go but back into your bloodstream. I want you to picture something. Imagine someone slowly injecting a significant amount of fluid directly into your circulatory system, all within the first hour of sleep. That is not a metaphor. That is a description of what happens in your body every single night. Your heart senses this, and it responds. Your heart releases a hormone called atrial natriuretic peptide, ANP. Think of it as an emergency message sent. It's from your heart directly to your kidneys. 3 words, dump the fluid. Your kidneys respond immediately, increasing sodium and water excretion into your bladder. Your bladder fills. You wake up, you go. But the fluid from your legs hasn't finished redistributing. So the cycle repeats, often 2, 3, or more times before morning. This is why you can stop all fluids at 6 in the evening, go to bed thirsty, and still to wake up multiple times in the night. You are not drinking too much. You are draining your own legs. This pattern, which doctors call nocturnal polyuria, is recognized in clinical literature as the most common reason older women wake repeatedly at night. It is not rare. It is not unusual. And it is not a life sentence. I've worked with many women over the years, came to me having tried everything. Fluid restriction, medications, pelvic floor programs. Nothing moved the number below 3 trips a night. And when I stopped asking about their bladder and started asking about their legs, everything shifted. Did their socks leave marks by evening? Almost always, yes. Did they feel a little short of breath on stairs? Often. When I pressed a film against the skin above the ankle and held a hit for 10 seconds, the indentation stayed. Their bladder was completely normal. It had been completely normal the entire time. It was simply doing up what a heart under fluid pressure asked it to do. That is the conversation most of them had never been offered. Now, here, there's something important I want you to do while you're still watching. Find your shin bone. Place the pad of your thumb firmly against your hip, about 4 to 5 inches above your ankle. Press. Hold for 10 full seconds. Release. Now run your fingertip across the same spot. If the skin springs back immediately, no significant fluid has accumulated there today. If your thumb left an indentation that takes several seconds to fill back in, that is a reservoir sitting in your leg tissue right now. It may not look swollen, but that pit is evidence. And at night, when you lie down, it will begin moving into your circulation. If that pit stayed, keep watching. What I'm about to share costs nothing and requires no prescription. Before I continue, if what I've shared so far has answered something you've been wondering about for months, I would ask you to do one thing. Subscribe to this channel and share this video with one woman in your life who is losing sleep the same way. This channel exists to give you the real explanation, not the rushed version, not the watered down version, the real one. Now let me show you the rest. There are 3 things that many women are eating or drinking in the evening that make this process significantly worse. None of them are obvious, all of them are fixable. The first is hidden sodium. Most women will tell you, I don't add salt to anything. I've been very careful. And they're right, they don't pick up the salt shaker. But here you would, most of the sodium we consume doesn't come from the salt shaker at all. It's already inside the food. Packaged breads, canned soups, deli meats, hard cheeses, condiments. A careful seating dinner can contain more sodium than your body should manage in an entire day. When that sodium enters your bloodstream in the evening, your body holds onto water to dilute it. Later in the night, your kidneys begin clearing it, pulling water out behind it. You wake up. Not because you drank too much, because of last night's bread and soup. The second is evening sugar. Simple carbohydrates, a small apple, crackers, sweetened tea trigger a rise in blood glucose. Insulin responds. Your kidneys initially retain more water. But hours later, when blood sugar begins to fall, your kidneys shift toward active excretion. That shift can pull you out of sleep. Not the water you drank, the carbohydrates you ate. The third is the evening drink that feels calming. Alcohol suppresses the release of vasopressin, the hormone your brain produces at night to slow your kidneys down and protect your sleep. Without it, your kidneys run at a higher output through the night. You wake up more, you sleep worse, and the effect begins with quite modest amounts. Let me give you something practical. If I call this the evening reset, 5 adjustments across your day. No prescription, no procedure, no expense. In the morning, before coffee, stand with feet shoulder width apart. Rise onto your toes, let your heels drop back to the floor with a light, firm impact. Repeat 30 times. This wakes up the calf muscle pump, your body's own system for moving blood back up your legs. Less pooling during the day means less redistribution at night. If scamming is difficult, lie in bed, raise both legs and arms straight up, and shake them gently for 60 seconds. Equally effective. During the day, front load your fluids. Drink most of what you need before pouring up. Staying well hydrated during the day actually helps. Dehydration concentrates the blood and makes the kidneys work harder at night. In the evening, remove salt from the dinner table. Season food only while cooking. And after dinner, nothing sweet. No crackers, The most important step, 1 to 1.5 hours before bed, lie down and elevate your legs above the level of your heart. Use the arm of the couch, a chair, or flat against the wall. Stay there for 15 to 20 minutes. This allows the fluid that built up in your legs all day to redistribute while you are still awake, so your kidneys process it before you sleep, not during it. After you do this, empty your bladder before you get into bed. And finally, in bed, with the lights 20 to 30 gentle pelvic floor contractions. Contract, hold 3 seconds, release. Only the internal muscles. Your abdomen stays completely soft. Let me give you those 5 steps together. Step 1, thumb test. Press into your shin bone, 4 to 5 inches above the ankle, 10 seconds. If the pit stays, you've found your reservoir. Step 2, remove processed meats, canned foods, packaged breads, and Han cheeses from your dinner tonight. Step 3, nothing after dinner. No fruit, no crackers, no sweetened tea. Step 4, 1 to 1.5 hours before bed, legs elevated for 20 to 30 pelvic floor contractions. 15 to 20 minutes. Then empty your bladder before you sleep. Internal muscles only. Most women dealing with fluid redistribution find that leg elevation alone makes a noticeable difference within the first few nights. Everything I've described today requires no prescription, no procedure, no specialist visit. And I want to be honest with you about why your doctor may not have walked you through this. Not because they don't care, but because there is no time in a 12-minute appointment to explain a circulatory mechanism, and the healthcare system is structured to manage symptoms, not always to uncover the root cause. That is what this channel exists to do. Now, one thing I need to say clearly, because I care about your safety. If your socks are leaving your deep grooves by evening, if your ankles look swollen, if you feel short of breath climbing a single flight of stairs, if nothing in this protocol brings any improvement after a couple of weeks, please do not only see a urologist. Ask your doctor about a cardiovascular and vascular evaluation. Your bladder may be the signal. Your circulation may need attention. My dear, your bladder is not your enemy. It has been a faithful signal, night after night. Now you know where to look. Now you have the tools. You've spent your whole life taking care of everyone else. Let what you learn today be the beginning of taking care of yourself. I care about what happens to you. That's why I'm here. That if this video gave you something, if it answered a question you've been carrying some months, I'd ask you to share it with one woman in your life who is losing sleep the same way. Subscribe, hit the like button. That is how the next woman who needs for this explanation actually finds it. And if you want to understand what high blood pressure is actually doing to your body while you sleep, and why so many women over 70 are being undertreated for it, I covered that in detail in the video right here. Don't miss it.